All right. 1 2 1 2. What's going on? Men of the rope. Okay. My dear brethren, how you all doing? Hopefully all is well. Um, I'm doing pretty good. I'm here down here in Tallahassee, Florida with my dad, and we're having a great time with family and so forth. All right. So I wish I could be there to deliver this in person. However, because I can't, I want to make sure that you all do not skip a beat. So this is going to be a presentation in lieu of me being present there. All right. So I have 20 minutes, all right, to get this done. And I'm already probably at least a minute in. So actually, I'm just going to make this my official 20 minutes. All right. So I'm going to press start on my timer. And that's all I have. I got 20 minutes, y'all. We got to get it in. All right. So let's get to the presentation. Let's get to what we're dealing with here. Okay. All right. All right. So hopefully you all can see, yes, the slideshow. Okay. And this is going to be like an interactive kind of a lecture. All right. It's a very important concept. And I like for you all to be engaged. All right. So at this point, I need for you all to get something to write with and something to write on. You all have 1 minute to get your materials. Okay. To get your materials, 1 minute. All right. And the clock goes now. Okay. You all have 1 minute. Really, I think I'm gonna cut it down to like 40 seconds. Hopefully, at this point, you guys have something to write with, okay? And so yeah, your time is very precious here. I got 20 minutes to work with. Okay, so hopefully by now, you all have something to write with and write on. Okay. I need for you all to take notes and be with me here. Okay. Plus, there are some little small activities that kind of go along with the conversation. Okay. So, we're going to talk about Black economics. All right. Black economics. It was kind of important. It was kind of funny because when I was doing this presentation, this is like my third time doing this. I was always out in public and I was like, you know what? This is probably not the best space to have this conversation because I'm sure with me being surrounded by mostly white folk, I'm sure they was like, this guy is probably a rebel or something like that, which to an extent I am, all right, which we all are, because for some reason for them, well, I won't even plug that into your consciousness. Okay. I'll just say that it's important for us to win and we got to stay on course, even if they think otherwise. Okay. All right. So Black economics, all right. What is it and why is it important? All right. So that's what we're going to deal with here. All right. Um, let's move forward. Okay. So I need for you all to take let's take 1 minute. Okay. I need for you all to take 1 minute to deal with this question. What do you think economics is about? What do you think economics is about? Jot down 1 or 2 sentences. You all have 1 minute. Ready, set, go. 40 seconds. 20 seconds. What do you think economics is about? All right, great. Okay, so that gave us our minute here. Okay. All right. And now I need for you all to take 1 minute and share out with your colleagues dealing with the question. What did you all say what economics was about? All right. You all have 1 minute. Go. 30 seconds. Hopefully everyone is sharing too. Everybody should be pitching in terms of what they think economics is about. All right. 3 seconds. Two, one. Okay, great. All right. So hopefully you all said something about money. I would imagine something about money. Maybe you all said something about stocks. You know, some people think that economics is about stocks. Some people think that economics is about businesses. Okay, that's probably um, something that came up, and all of those answers are are a part of our economy, if you would. Okay. But I want to simplify economics. All right. I want to simplify it and simply state that economics is about choice. Now, when you start to deal with economics um, in detail, okay, when you start looking at the application, then you start getting into well, first, when we say choice, we're talking about the decisions that we make. Um, that ultimately let us know whether or not we are benefiting or we are dealing with a cost. Okay, so every choice that we make, every choice, every choice that we make results in a benefit and a cost. Okay, and um, so when we start to look at economics on a grander scale, all kinds of people are making choices. You make a choice every day what to do with your time. That's economical. Okay. You all could put all of your time into playing video games. And if you do that, then you're going to sacrifice some of the things that you should be doing in order to help you advance in your life. Okay. And you got people that do that. Some people that solely focus on pleasure only. They eat candy all the time. Well, you can do that. Candy tastes wonderful. I love candy, okay? But if you're not careful, what'll happen is if you keep on making that choice, what'll happen is you'll end up rotting your teeth and you'll end up sabotaging your health. Okay, so that is economics. Okay, now when you start to deal with economics on a financial in a financial way. Okay. And so in other words, what do we choose to do with our money? Okay, like do you take all your money and spend it or do you save some of it? Do you take your money and like where do you spend your money? Okay, do you spend your money um like always in like typical franchises or like of course, we like to go to, let's just say Qdoba or Chipotle or something like that. Um, and that's a choice and it's cool. You get a benefit, okay? However, every time you take your money and you spend your money with Chipotle, you also give up something, okay? So you give up saving, you give up maybe taking your money and um supporting a business within the community. Okay. And that's a big thing. Okay. Like if you notice, like during the holidays, a lot of people go out to the malls, they shop online, and there's a huge push to take some of that money and spend it in the community. Get your needs and your wants met by producers and businesses inside your community. And it matters. Okay. It matters a lot. Okay. And so with you all, being young people, young men, we want to plant this seed early on that you have to have an economic consciousness. Okay. It's not, you can't just walk this earth and live this life and not have any economic consciousness. Okay. Because if you were to do that, then what could happen is you will fall victim to all of the advertising, all of the social media messaging. And a lot of times, those messages, those advertisements are not necessarily in favor of you personally. It's not in favor of your family. It's not benefiting your family, or your community. So, So we want to plant this seed early, okay? Like we want you to be economically empowered, okay? We want you to be a smart buyer or consumer, and we also want you to ultimately become a producer, okay? Like we want you to become a producer, as in like take your skill set, whatever it is that you decide to educate yourself on or train in, and find one way or another to create opportunity in your community. Okay, like that's what members of the human family do. Okay, our brothers and sisters of the Asian persuasion, they do it. Okay, our brothers and sisters of the Arab population, they do it. Our brothers and sisters of the Jewish community, they do it. Most I want to use the word civilized people, okay? I'm talking about like ethnic groups, okay? Budget some kind of intention to not only benefit themselves, but benefit their family, to look out for their family, look out for their community. Otherwise, if you don't do that, what will happen is your family and your community will die. Okay, so what keeps your family and your community alive is you. Okay, you keep yourself, your family, and your community alive, okay, by making choices to become very, very good at something, become an expert at something, so that you can uh, charge something for your expertise, and then take that money to either do one or two things: either, invest it in yourself, invest it in your family, invest it in your community. Now, truth of the matter is, we have businesses in our community, but we don't have enough businesses to meet all of our needs. So you can't take all your money and spend it in the black community only. Okay. And sometimes, there's a book written about this called My Black Year, where a set of lawyers done this. They actually tried to spend their money in the black community for one whole year, and the book is about how challenging it was. But that's okay. At least be intentional. Okay. At least take some of your money and spend it in your community. Okay. That is a very, very important thing. Okay, so let's look at this thing called Black economics, and then I got a few more things. Okay, I'm looking at my time. I got 8 minutes. Okay, and there's a video I want to show you all, so we got a little bit, we got a little bit to go. Okay, and time is moving. Okay, so we look at Black economics as um, not only choice, okay, but being committed to economic progress and prosperity in the black community with a specific focus on work, wages, and wealth. Okay, so like we're expecting you all to build your human capital, your work, okay, your ability to work, okay, by getting your education. We expect you to do that, okay? We expect you to be trained in something well enough so that you are astute enough so that you can be hired. Okay. And then once you become hired, once again, in the process, you're learning. And then once again, you can take your income and you can begin to save, invest, and maybe if you decide to become an entrepreneur or be a business owner, you can plant a business in the community and help your community. Okay. Help somebody. Okay. And there's a whole spectrum in that. We're not saying you have to become Google, but become something. Okay. All right. Okay. We are using our collective power of business acumen to advance policies that can and will create economic empowerment in our community and grow the entire U.S. economy. All right. So I just want to say this real quick, because sometimes I don't know what messages that are out there, but just understand, when our community grows, we cause the U.S. economy to grow. So to be for your community and building your community does not mean that you are anti-America. Okay, you're not anti-America. You're not anti-white folk. All right, I just want to put that out there. Okay, you're just being pro and intentional in building something for you, yourself, and your community. Okay, all right, let's keep it going. All right. So I want you all to check out this video. Okay. Okay. This is by my alias, Professor Parabus. All right. And while you're watching the video, I'd like for you all to jot down any words that relate to economics. All right. Check it out.
Yeah,
Make sure you
yeah,
all write these words down
yeah,
as you watch and listen to the video. All right?
yo, know what I mean?
Hip
About to
hop.
go ahead on
Hey,
the
hey.
here's the academic presentation. You got it.
See if y'all can keep up. Let's go.
Trucks and clouds, let me de-illusionize it.
Yes.
Economics and
Humanize it
history
deep inside it.
You can, if you reach beyond your
eyelids.
you have to understand economic topics like demand, the products, capital, human and land, a free market economy versus demand. Big biz, humor me with their plans, laying off the line worker importing from Japan. These are choices made by modern man. Adam Smith saw it as the invisible hand, which is the market where people buy and sell. We ain't buying enough. Is that why our GDP fell? Whether you read the down with English or in Braille, Cassidy and Green will prevail. What we dealing with, the basics, mastery, the basics, the basics. The first step is the basics, the basics. Then comes the knowledge, then the application. What we dealing with, basics, the basics. Mastery, the basics, the basics. The first step is the basics, the basics. Then comes the knowledge, then the application. Scarcity is at the core of this philosophy. It explains why people play the lottery. It explains why people study optometry to any other choice people make to grow their Dollar Tree. Or better yet, let's check the other irony. But everybody ain't rich economically. We all want big accounts, $1 million dream. The question is, what does it take to get that cheese? Why cash, greenbacks, or toe sauce? However you decide to go, you gotta go hard. Like a soldier in the army, you gotta go charge after your dream. If you're trying to reach that gold card, maybe you want the one with the black face. The rich cats that got stacks and safe. Whatever you want, you gotta work for that space. Cause ain't nothing free when you run it in this race. What we dealing with? Basics, the basics. The basics, the basics. The step is the basics, the basics. Then comes the knowledge, then the application. What we dealing with? Basics, the basics. The basics, the basics. The first step is the basics, the basics. Then comes the knowledge, then the application.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. All right. So you guys, okay. Hopefully you all jotted down some words, jotted down some images that you all saw that relate to the subject of economics. Okay. Um, now, you guys, I only got a couple of minutes here. All right, so I'm gonna give you all 1 minute. 1 minute to share. Okay, 1 minute to share. What kinds of words and images did you all see in the video that relate to economics? Go. 1 minute. 30 seconds. 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I wish I was there to hear what you all came up with. All right, but hopefully you all said something like you all saw scarcity, demand, market, invisible hand. You saw some books. You know, you saw a dude in the background walking. Maybe you saw the clothes that Professor Parabus was wearing. Maybe you saw cars. Maybe you saw street lights, okay, concrete, okay, bookstore, businesses, okay, stock market, okay, any of those things, all right. Now you all, okay, I'm gonna have to wind down here, okay. So listen, here's the deal, okay. All of those things relate to economics. Why? Because somebody made the choice to take resources, okay, particularly land, labor, and capital to create those products, okay, and sell them to meet somebody's want or need, okay? And so yeah, we're going to expand more on this, okay? And so in our expansion, what we're going to talk about is markets. We're going to talk about businesses within our community. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to go and visit some of them, and you all can hear their testimonies in terms of like what it took to become an entrepreneur, and hopefully we can support you all in becoming entrepreneurs of the future and also becoming intelligent consumers and intelligent investors and owning something. Okay, you have to own something. If you don't own something, okay, you're going to be you're going to be owned. Okay, somebody else will be making all the choices for you if you don't make the choice to own something and attain some degree of economic empowerment. Okay, so in conclusion, you guys, love you all a lot. Miss you all. Okay. I can't wait to get back home and get back in the rope. And I can't wait to continue this conversation. We have much more conversation to talk about on a micro scale and on a macro scale. Okay. And hopefully, and you all can sort of conclude with this. So, Baba said, Baba Keely, perhaps you can engage a conversation with them to just sort of ask them, what takeaways did they get from this conversation? Okay. With that being said, I'm getting ready to bow out, you guys. Love you all, and I'll see you all when I get back. All right. Peace.